It feels like every year, Joe, me and you, we wait for this week all year long. It happens twice a season, I guess. But it's like Super Bowl week. But for some reason, it's like during Christmas time, they got to put the Raiders and the Chargers against each other. And here we are, Thanksgiving week, going into the holiday season. It's Raider week or Charger week for you guys. And we're bringing you guys a live show talking about the Raiders versus Chargers game and picking every single game of week 13, all the Thanksgiving games, sharing our picks for the week. We're back, Joe. 2 weeks off from the podcast. It's good to see you again, especially after watching what the Raiders have been doing lately. It's a little bit more enjoyable going into this week because, like, the entire Raider Nation spirit, usually when you go into Charger week, no matter what your record is, it gets a boost. Everyone in the Raider Nation just is like, oh, we got to invade SoFi Stadium and upset the Chargers this week. Everyone's super hyped about it, but it's been such a depressing season. I think for the first time since I started creating content, for the first time in a long time that I can remember, Raiders fans are checked out already. Like, not even watching the games, I don't think.
Yeah, I think this is the lowest I've seen the fan base in a long time. Even through all the Josh McDaniels, through everything like this. I've been saying this is probably the worst team I've seen since 2006, and 2006 had a top 10 defense. But they had a 32nd ranked offense to go along with it. So Aaron Brooks and Andrew Walters and Marcus Tuiasosopo, those are probably names you don't even know, huh, Mike?
Yeah, I'm getting text messages about the tickets right now. I'll talk to you about it off the air. But me and Joe are actually going to this game. We try to go to as many Raiders Chargers games as we can. Our first topic of the show today, Joe, I just want to share some memories. Let's talk briefly here. Our Instagram went down. Sorry, Instagram viewers. You can't see me anyways anymore, I guess. But John Cena. First topic, let's talk about some of our memories going to Chargers and Raiders games. And the first question I want to ask you, not because you're old, with kids and a whole, all that kind of stuff, but because you're experienced and you're a veteran of going to football games. Is there a Raiders Chargers memory that you have from before we met?
No, I don't think like in person. No, not really.
I went
because
to
like I told you, like Charger Raider games, like they were always. It's always been Raiders. Like when you go to Qualcomm or you go to Oakland, it was always more Raider fans. Like there hasn't been a lot of, like, say what you want, there hasn't been a lot of Charger fans, Mike, until like this move to Las Vegas or to Los Angeles has probably helped them more in terms of more fans. They lost a lot of fans when they moved to Los Angeles. The Chargers did. So I don't think the rivalry was ever there because me growing up as a Raider fan, I hated the Broncos and then more the Chiefs. And then the Chargers were always like the second. Like the Chargers were like lower than the Cowboys and the 49ers who aren't even in our division. Like, and even Seattle was in our division for a little bit and we hated them. So I don't think that there's ever been like a, something that made me watch like it was always a division game, but there was nothing like special about it. But now, like the last couple of years, especially doing the podcast with you and Tony, and with Harbaugh coming over, now and the Chargers actually being more relevant, it seems like these games are getting more and more memorable in my mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I was gonna say something similar. I was gonna say like that the content has really sparked it up for me too because growing up, I always hated the team that was winning. It was never the Raiders. So I always hated the Broncos. That was the team that I was hating the most, even more than the Chiefs, because that was the team either the Chargers were competing with when the Chargers were good in that same time period, like that 06, 07 time period. And then after the Chargers kind of fell off, lost to Danny Tomlinson, lost a little bit of that magic of that era of the team, Peyton Manning took over. So I kind of hated the Broncos more than any of the other teams, but I did go to a Qualcomm Raiders-Chargers game, and you're right. And this is what I try to say, and I'm going to get burned at the stake if this gets out to too many Chargers fans. So please don't share the video, don't like the video, don't subscribe to the channel, and don't turn on notifications. But San Diego had a fan problem too. And I think that fan problem contributed slightly to the Chargers moving. And what I see at Charger games now, and I know I wasn't there for the prime Chargers, prime Qualcomm. I was there for the tail end of Qualcomm, honestly, as an adult. I think that the vibes in SoFi at times now kind of go past what I remember Qualcomm being for the end there. So really what it comes down to for the Chargers and their fan base, our fan base is scattered. We got a lot of fans in Oregon. I just went to Nashville recently, witnessed that there's a lot of fans that gathered on Nashville from different states in that area, all come to Nashville because there's an opportunity there to go to a cheap game. The Chargers fans are spread out, but when the Chargers win, they're going to show up. And that's kind of the story for all teams. It's more about
Yeah.
the Chargers winning than the Chargers' geographical location when it comes to the fan base.
Hey, have you noticed this year? Maybe it's different, but well, one, I have two questions for you. One, Broncos have to be the most hated team in our division, right? I think everybody, Chiefs fans probably hate Broncos fans more. Like we hate Bronco fans more. Like I think it's Broncos have to be the most hated team in the AFC West if you actually break it down. People will say the Chiefs, but that's just lately since the Chiefs have been winning the last like 10, 11 years. And then have you noticed, like you just brought it up, like you said, you got a lot of new Charger fans or Charger fans from Oregon now because of who? Justin Herbert, right? And I've noticed that this year with Ash and Genty, that people are becoming more fans of NFL teams based off their where they watch college at, and they're basically just following players that they love in college to that team now. Like if you go to a Raider game now, tons of Boise State jerseys because people fall in love with Ash and Genty. When we had some of the younger guys from North Dakota, I can't think of his name, our draft pick that we released, and he went to the Saints. But people were coming to the stadium rooting for him. It's like, are we seeing more fans travel now and not go to SoFi Stadium? Like you said, you're seeing more fans at Nashville. You saw Raider fans travel well. Raider fans travel to SoFi. They travel to New England. They travel everywhere. So we seeing more fans go, screw it. I'll go see a game somewhere else because I've looked up ticket prices and it's cheaper for me to fly somewhere, buy tickets, watch a game, and fly home than actually go to Allegiant Stadium sometimes.
That was 100% fact for me. That Nashville game, the plane tickets for me and Rose, the seat tickets, the hotel, it all adds up to the same as a trip to SoFi Stadium, which is only 100 miles from my house. So not even 100 miles. I think it's only like 80 miles from my house, 75 miles from my house. So it's tough. It's a tough pill to swallow, but that's the price of living in California, Joe. Everything here is more expensive. You just you kind of have to pay extra rent for the weather basically at this point. But yeah, okay, so our rivalry for both of us from both our perspectives with the Raiders really picks up when we become friends. I did hate one Raiders player for all those years, and it was Khalil Mack, and then he gets traded to the Raiders right as I become a content creator. So it kind of really like sparked it on. I think the first game I went, well, I mean, all the games I went to with are Chargers Raiders, but the first game I went to with was that Thursday night game, right? I think both teams were good that year, or solid at least that year.
No, the first game that you and I went together.
Yeah.
No, we went. Remember, we went to SoFi Stadium Monday night.
Oh, it was Monday night. I thought it was Thursday night for some reason. Maybe it was Monday night, and it was the night that the electric storm delayed the game, right?
Yeah,
That was
so
crazy.
and both teams were good at that time because it was like week 4,
3-1 versus 3-1, I think, or 3-0 versus 3-1.
I want to say you guys had one loss and we were undefeated.
Yeah.
That was with John Gruden, and that was right before the whole John Gruden got fired thing. I want to say that was our first game. I want to say that was our first game together. It was right after COVID and all that stuff.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was the game that came down. It didn't come down to the end. I think the Chargers led most of the game, but it came down to Derwin James versus Darren Waller 1-on-1, right? That was a freaking awesome moment.
Yeah, if I remember, I'm trying to remember right. I want to say you guys had a big lead at halftime because I remember I took Jake, my son.
Oh yeah. They started coming back, and he was like starting to nudge me, like Mike.
Yeah, I want to say at halftime, like you were on him, and he was just like sitting there like sad, and then he started getting comeback, and yeah, and then let's see,
we've done that. I don't think we sat together, but we were both at Devontae Adams' first game as a Raider. Or second game as a Raider, I think it was, but first one in SoFi, and he just went the fuck off on us.
Yeah, but that one was the same way. It was like an ass kicking at the beginning, and then the Raiders fought back.
Yeah.
And then we were both at the Thursday night game, the 63-21.
That's my score prediction for this week's game.
62. I mean, shit. Have you seen the Raiders' offensive line? Like,
well, I've been saying that the story of the game is which O-line can block Khalil Mack or Max Crosby even once throughout the entire game.
I don't know if you saw where I put a video this week, and I said, you can win with a bad offensive line if you have a good play caller and a good quarterback. But if you don't have all three, you have the Las Vegas Raiders.
I think
And
I saw that quote. I saw that quote, and my first thought was, I was like, "You're literally describing the differences between the Chargers and Raiders seasons. The Chargers have went to their O lines went to shit. They have no running backs at this point. They've all been injured. Even the defense is beat up and struggling at this point in the season. But the quarterback and the scheme and the game plans just sometimes can put it together. And you're seeing the drastic difference when it doesn't work. When the QB doesn't play as good, they don't have as good a game plan going into it to mask the O-line problem. The Jaguars game happens. So, like, you're exactly right on that point on how much Justin Herbert specifically is covering up on the Chargers. And how if you put Geno on the Chargers, they'd be the Raiders. There you go.
well, how bad would the Chiefs be right now? They're what, 5-5?
Oh, yeah.
If
Yeah.
they didn't have Patrick Mahomes. Like,
And Andy Reid, yeah, it'll be.
and somebody told me that too. They go, no, that whatever you're saying is bullshit. You're saying that you can have two of the three and you can still be good. And they go, well, I saw Patrick Mahomes do it in the Super Bowl with the bad offensive line. Like, yes, you can sit there and you can have a bad offensive line. Good players, sometimes good play callers. Joe Burrow went to a Super Bowl with a bad offensive line. Good play callers understand and good quarterbacks. Now, is it hard to overcome? Yes, you're seeing it with Justin Herbert. You're seeing it with Joe Burrow. You're seeing it with these guys, with Patrick Mahomes. They're still taking the big hits. They're still having to get rid of the ball, but their mentality and how their athleticism takes over. Like, good players can overcome bad coaching as well, but you can't overcome everything.
Yeah, I'm with you. And I think there's a balance to it. And me and Tony Tucker, shout out Tony Tucker if he's tuned in right now, have argued about this back and forth. I think it's a player-driven game. He thinks it's a coach-driven game. But there is a balance where the coach can't do it without the player, and the players can't do it without the coach. And when it all comes together, that's when you get these dominant elite teams, like you're saying. But yeah, we've been to a bunch of Chargers Raiders games. Both of us personally sat next to each other. We're going to be going to this one as well. I'm excited to go to this game because I just want to see the Raiders get destroyed. But let's talk about the season real quick before we talk specifically about our predictions for this game coming up. And we're going to give you guys some over-unders to go off of as well. Here's my question for you, Joe, and I'll answer it too. What do you think's more likely? What do you think's more likely or least likely? What do you think's more likely to happen? The Chargers win the division or the Raiders end up with the first overall pick?
Raiders ended up with the first overall pick.
I'm starting to think that too. Because with the Broncos, man, they're annoying the hell out of me this season. But when you, like you were saying at the beginning of the show, when you sit back and you recollect when the Broncos been good, they win the way they're winning right now. Like, this is not new. It's just new faces, same game, just dominating with defense, head-scratching offense for 3 quarters. But for some reason, they clutch up in the 4th quarter. I swear I've been going through this since Jay Cutler. It's never going to stop with the Broncos always being there. So I think the Chargers have a tough race to the end here. We have a tough schedule. I know they do too, but they pulled off some really close wins. That win versus KC, I think, put the Broncos in the driver's seat to where they can maybe have the division won by week 18. But if they slip up or if they slack off or if they lose a couple of games, we're going to have a division championship game at the end of this season. And we all know the Chargers are great at week 18, all on the line games.
Okay, but are you confident in any of the AFC West teams in the playoffs? Like, I know you're a Charger fan, but any 3 of these teams, the Chargers, the Broncos, or the Chiefs, sneak into the playoffs or they get into the playoffs, are you confident? Like, even if the Broncos are the number 1 overall seed in the AFC, I still don't see them moving on.
I'm going to be honest. This year is a weird season, especially in the AFC. And I think that it's almost like which team's going to catch fire. And I don't know which team it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be the Broncos. I don't see their quarterback just all of a sudden just turning it on. Bo Nix isn't playing terrible. He's playing good. But there's a lot of eyesores. There's a lot of moments in there where you're like, wow, this could have been one bounce away from going that direction instead. I think that it scares me to think of the thought of the Chiefs sneaking in at the 7th seed and getting the Broncos in round 1. That does scare me.
And thanks to the NFL for letting the Chiefs get Dameon Pierce, which I think is going to come back and bite us in the ass.
Yeah, I don't know what the Chargers are doing. I don't know what half the teams are doing. Like, don't don't any of the teams need a guy like that on their depth chart? Like I feel like a lot of teams need it, and the Chiefs needed it. You kind of gifted it to them, and the way they won this last game was literally like a miracle. I mean, they should not have won that game. I hope the Chiefs just completely fall out because I am scared. I think that the AFC there's a lot of parity, and I think we could see upsets in the first round like crazy. I think this could be the year we see a wild card team go all the way out of the AFC. I think it's really wide open. I don't think there's a dominant team. The Bills defense just you can't trust that defense to put up 3 straight good performances if they come against teams with good rushing attacks. If the Ravens get in as the 6th seed or the Ravens end up winning that division and see the Bills in the second round or have to play the Bills because the Bills are a wild card team, the Ravens are going to run all over them. And I think there's multiple teams that could do that.
That's the team that you and I have always, like, for the last couple of years have gone back and forth on is the Baltimore Ravens going, okay, this could be the year they make it. This could be the year. They started, 1-5 this year, and they've started to move up and going towards it. Like, I'm not a big believer in Buffalo because we've seen it with that defense, and you just saw how they get exposed each and every. I mean, Davis Mills just went up and down on your field, on your defense last week. So, yeah, like you said, it is open in the AFC. It's open in every division, in every conference.
You look at the Patriots. The Patriots seem like they're back, but they're just so young. I don't know. I feel like come playoff time, they might shrink a little bit. Their rushing attack isn't as dominant as I wanted it to be with Mike Vrabel, and he's got to install that still. I could be wrong. I think that their defense is great, but just one offseason away from really being dominant. They have a really weak schedule, like the easiest schedule I've ever seen.
Well, that and the 49ers have an easy schedule, but it's you play the games that are in front of you, Mike. Like they're all NFL teams.
So that's why I'm so pissed off about the Chargers injuries this year. Because even you, as a Chargers hater, would probably admit the Chargers with Rashawn Slater and Joe Alt on this team would have a chance this year. This season, at least, they would have a chance.
Well, say you give the Chargers 2 more wins, it'd put you right there in the number 2 seed, right there in the division lead right now. So yeah, I would say having your two best offensive linemen would give you at least 2 more wins on the season, right? So yeah, the Chargers would be right there.
And this by Derek Lewis is just not true. Nix has only been playing better than Geno Smith. When we talk about comparisons to Mahomes or comparisons to Justin Herbert, with the best defense in the division by far, and it's not even close.
Hey, did it automatically take it off the screen?
Yeah, it does. There's a timer on it, so that way I don't have to keep clicking it. But Rams and Patriots in the Super Bowl. Yeah, I like it. Rams and Patriots in Super Bowl. I think I had this as my current. No, it wasn't Patriots. I don't even know. I had the Rams winning it right now as my pick right now, but in a recent video. I don't even know my own videos at this point that I'm uploading.
Rams Patriots. It better be better than the last Rams Patriots Super Bowl.
Right. Holy. I think the Rams would smoke them if they met up in the Super Bowl, and the Rams are fully healthy. Let's keep this going here. So let's focus back away from the playoffs, and the other direction I wanted to talk about was the Raiders' push in the draft. I know you're the type of fan, you want to see them go out there and try and win every single game, right? And there's been Raiders teams that have gone out and upset teams in this stage of their season. But do you really want this team to go out and win every single game at this point, Joe? Like, this is the worst Raiders offense that I've seen in my life. They need a quarterback. They need a tackle.
It's not that I want them to win. I want them to compete, and I want them to go out there and fight. If the win is there, I'm not going to get pissed off. Like, if you get the win because you were out there fighting and you were showing what you had, cool.
Yeah.
I want the Raiders to give us something to build off of, and that's why when people say end of the season wins and these useless wins don't mean anything for us, they do when you're trying to build a culture. Like if you're thinking about keeping Pete Carroll for another year, which if they fire him and another one and done coach, what the hell? Like if you're trying to build a culture there, you want to win games. You want to win a couple of these games at the end of the season, even if it does mess up your draft status. My thing is you worry about the offseason in the offseason. If we have to move up in the draft, we have to and trade some value. We do it, but we do it in the offseason. We don't cost at the wins. Now, I want to put the young guys in the game. I want to see how the young guys develop. And is that tanking? I don't think so. I think that's seeing what you have in the future. and going from there. So if you could put the young guys in, and maybe they're not better than some of the older guys, I don't consider that tanking. I consider that what's it called? Building your future and seeing and I can't think of the word. I'm blinded to it. Developmental. It's developing your team for the
Yeah.
future. So if you're trying to go to that point, you're not taking games on purpose. You just don't have the talent to win, right? You're just not there. That is a difference. I want to see the Raiders go out there, give 100% and actually compete. And if the wins happen, I'm not gonna be that fan that gets pissed off. That's what I'm saying. But if you go out there with the intention to lose, get the hell out of here. I'm not paying, or we're not paying all this money to watch a team go out there and just lay down. Just hell no. And do you think NFL players will really do that?
Yeah, I mean, some might, but I think we should still open up an investigation on Jack Jones. But I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna spark up that conversation again. Yeah, and even Pete came to the podium and said, like, I'm not interested in developing. I'm trying to win every single week. I don't really care what our record is. We're coming out and trying to win every single week. Yeah, I
Well,
I
I think
enjoy it
that's
as a
pretty.
Chargers fan because the Chargers very rarely are in that situation. But when the Chargers were in that situation, Easton Stick came in, so it was a lot less stressful for me to just be like, oh, whatever, we fucking lost. I don't care because of Easton Stick. If Justin Herbert was out there going five, having 5 wins, I would be crying every week like a baby.
Yeah, and I mean, at this point, I'm numb to the season. Like,
Mm. That's what it feels like. The Raiders fans usually are still super juiced even when they're losing, but this year it's hit them harder than before. Like there was more belief in Pete Carroll, and I kept trying to say like the roster, it just isn't there. They're getting there. They're getting closer, but the roster, the offensive line is awful.
well, everybody tells me that I've always been the most positive Raider fan, but I mean, it's debatable because some people say I hate the team, but a lot of people are saying, "Dang, I've never seen you not as positive going into games." I'm going because there is nothing, and I try to tell people in the offseason, like everything that I said in the offseason that I got shit on from Raider fans. My win prediction is not there. I said 7-9 going into the season for the Raiders, and I said there was a lot of holes. But I talked about the wide receiver position. I said the Raiders don't have wide receivers that can create separation. They don't have anything that scares the defenses from going to Ashton Genty. I talked about the offensive line. I talked about the Raiders' defensive line not having anybody except for Max Crosby. Um, so there was stuff that I talked about, and people were just like, you're bullshitting and not wanting to believe because in the offseason, you don't want to hear the bad things about your team. And I understand that. But, I mean, this has been a team, the Raiders team, that's been tore down multiple times in the last 5 years and try to rebuild it into what the team wants or what the new coach wants. And it's just a bad, very bad roster.
The bright side of it, like I was saying, to start the whole entire draft pick convo, is that they're going to be in a spot to pick somebody. And I think your first two picks, first and second round, no matter where you're drafting, have to be quarterback and tackle. It has to be those two. And if you don't do those two, no one in there knows what they're doing at this point because you have all these generational talents now on the team with Crosby and Bowers and Genty even. And I hate to admit it because I don't want Genty to be a successful running back in the NFL at this point. But these guys are beasts, and they are building blocks that you could build around if you get a corner and you get a receiver and you get a quarterback, you get a tackle. It could be scary really quickly for the Raiders. But, Joe, would you rather not be able to build a team ever or be able to build a perfect team that has a star player at every position, but they all get injured every season? Like, which one would you rather have?
I mean, at the end of the day, I think you would want your team to win, right? But even then, like people get tired of that. People get tired of the consistency. Like Pittsburgh Steelers fans, they don't know what they have with Mike Tomlin. Yes, he hasn't won a playoff game in 6 years, but you're in the playoffs every single year. Like you're in contention every single year. I just want to feel what it's like to be in contention one time. So I'll build that perfect roster that never wins the Super Bowl but always loses. Like at the end, I will take that over constantly being at the top of the draft and always screwing that up and losing every season. I would like to we always talk shit, like, and I always say like there's only one winner at the end of the year, so no matter where you finish, like that's kind of bullshit, right? Like that's a bit a cop out move that anybody can use to just to kill a conversation, and it's easier to do. But
Yeah, not pointing any fingers.
yeah. But I'm just saying, like it's an easy cop out to do, and like you can win a conversation that doing that. But at the end of the day, would you rather your team go one and done in the playoffs? Yes, I'd rather get that extra playoff game and be like, okay, we're there, because then it brings back hope again, and you're always fighting. I'd rather watch meaningful games at the end of the year than sitting here at Thanksgiving going, oh, what are we drafting?
I'm with you 100%. That's why when people are always like talking about the Chargers being bad or terrible or all this thing, I'm like, guys, calm down. We're 7-4. I understand there's some big problems and the Chargers have to grit through this, but this is a lot better than it could be if we didn't have just Justin Herbert. I mean, just that one player. So keep counting your blessings. It is Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone watching this. Joe, let's give our predictions for the Chargers-Raiders game real quick here. I think that the key matchups are on both sides, pretty obvious for both teams. And I already hinted at it a little bit, but I think it's going to be the Raiders' ability here with the new offensive coordinator, which I'd like you to touch on a little bit. What do you think the differences are on the new offense and what's going to be called here this week and how it's going to help the Raiders or how it's going to hurt the Raiders? But the key is going to be, can you guys keep Khalil Mack, Tuli Tuipulotu, Derwin James, all these guys off Geno Smith? Because we all saw the tape from last week. I mean, that Raiders O-line can't block for even 3 seconds. And on the flip side, the Chargers got absolutely obliterated by the Jaguars in a similar fashion, where the O-line can't protect Herbert to save his life. Herbert had his worst game of his career, in my opinion, off of getting rattled from those pass rushes. The matchups are super key. They're super simple. Who has a better game plan to stop Max Crosby, or who has a better game plan to stop Khalil Mack and Tuli? I just think the Chargers have more horses. I think the Chargers, even though their O-line is banged up, kind of can piece it together a little bit more. Like the Raiders starters are just going out there and getting cooked. The Chargers are at least working with an entirely almost backup O-line.
Well, the Raiders have about 3 guys on their offensive line that wouldn't be starters, or probably even on a roster in some teams. And that's how bad it is. And they refuse to put the rookie. How do you draft 2 offensive linemen in the 3rd round and not even give them you're not even developing them? Like I've said, how they can't be worse than what you saw last week, right? Like put them out there with the new offensive coordinator, Greg Olsen. Basically, it's not a new offensive coordinator; it's his 3rd stint with the Raiders. Like every time an offensive coordinator gets fired, basically, Greg Olsen, you're the guy.
How does he even stay on the team that long?
Well, he's been through multiple regimes. So he was there with Hugh Jackson. I want to say
that went well.
Or he wanted the job when Hugh Jackson got the job. So he was there right before that with Lane Kiffin. He was there with John Gruden. John Gruden brought him back, and then Pete Carroll brought him back. So, I mean, he's a respected guy around the league. He's been on Sean McVay's staff the last couple of years, or 1 year. So he's been around the league. Now, what I think you're going to see with Greg Olsen is he's going to try to establish the run and actually do like play action. Like, like a couple of weeks ago, the Raiders tried to do a play action game, but they didn't run the ball. Like, you can't do play action if the defense ain't biting on nothing when you're not giving anything to bite on. Pete Carroll wants to run the ball. Him and Chip Kelly fought over that. They need to go back to fundamentals, but at the end of the day, you ain't doing shit with this offensive line. You might be able to design a couple of plays, but you saw it last week against the Cleveland Browns, where their game plan was to get rid of the ball quick, and it still didn't work. Still didn't work. Like, I don't know how much more an offensive coordinator. This was a scapegoat. Firing Chip Kelly was a scapegoat for the Raiders when you still have Brandon Carroll as your offensive line coach, and you're not going to fire him because why? He's Pete Carroll's son. When your main problems are still there, like we could say blame Geno as much as we want, but if you're not blocking people for Geno, it's not helping as well.
Yeah, and we kind of knew Geno's good in the clean pocket. There's a lot of quarterbacks that are good in the clean pocket, but what takes quarterbacks to the next level is the ones that don't turn the ball over when that gets messy and play well when things get messy. That's the difference between Herbert and Geno a lot. That is also another thing that the Raiders probably are looking at. The Chargers just got absolutely pounded on. Yeah, pause. By that rookie running back in Jacksonville, Tootin. Like, absolutely destroyed by him. Looked like a Brandon Staley defense, not a Jesse Minter defense. But on the flip side, every time this Chargers defense gets challenged like that, every time we have a bad game, they come out and they just are pissed off and they just destroy the next team they play. So I
Isn't
think
it weird?
that that's
Isn't
what
it
we're
weird
gonna
in the
see.
NFL though? How like because the Raiders look good against Jacksonville, you guys look like crap against Jacksonville, and then we go to play each other, and it's like it can go either way. Like I
Yeah.
don't think it will go one way, but I think the Chargers are going to win this game. But how competitive will the Raiders be against the Chargers is the question I'm wondering.
I think at halftime the score will be surprisingly close because the Chargers have started slow every single game just about. Like you're saying, it's a week to week league where and the parity is getting shrink more and more where the best team and the worst team are getting closer and closer to each other, especially with all these injuries. It's even closer. So
And sometimes when you make a coaching change, it
that's what I was about
motivates
to say. Yeah.
it
I hate that.
motivates something. So you might see a one or two plays from the Raiders, and you go, "Oh, they're back." But it comes, like you said, after halftime is where the
Yeah.
real game starts.
Yeah, it's super annoying. It's like the 1 week Jaden Daniels came back and could play and was healthy is against us. Like every time we play someone, they fire their offense coordinator and there's a new offense coordinator, a new quarterback. Like that little wrinkle is what makes upsets happen because it's like a little surprise in there that no one expected. That Jaguars game for the Chargers, they just came out completely flat. We've talked about it a million times on this show, playing at 10 a.m. all the way in Florida for a Los Angeles team. Hasn't been the greatest formula ever, and it just was not like the Chargers at all from start to finish. A lot of people are like, oh, they lost by this giant score. We took Herbert out. We took all these guys out. The entire third, halfway through the third and fourth quarter, was the backups playing, getting the score ran up on them. I think that the Chargers will come out and be a hungry, motivated team. Also, when you go into a bye week off of a smack in the mouth like that, as a good team, hopefully, if you are a good team, you respond. I keep saying if because the Chargers go back and forth. They've been inconsistent all year. I think another key for this game, Joe, Hampton's back, which is a big, 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 big boost for the
Is he
Chargers,
back though?
who cannot run the ball. I mean, he's out there running drills in full pads. He didn't do a full practice yet, but
Yeah,
there was
because they just
rumors.
opened up the 21-day window, so they have 21 days to activate him.
Yeah, he
Doesn't
got
mean
out there on the first day of that window and was full. Well, not fully practicing, but he was in full pads, doing drills, working in with the ones.
would
The
you
thing,
want him back this game, like, or
yeah, I
would you
think so.
rather wait a couple weeks and then have
No,
him heal up even more?
the Chargers are in a situation right now where we got to win these games if we want a chance to win this division. There's no like taking our foot off the gas pedal. We're playing the Eagles still. We're playing the Chiefs again. We're playing the Broncos again. Like we need to get out there and get this rookie rolling again right away because a lot of people love Kimani Vidal and what he's done and what he can do with holes. We need someone that can break tackles. We're not getting very much push off of the offensive line when it comes to opening up holes for our running backs. We need someone that can break tackles. Omarion Hampton was rumored, I don't know how true it was, maybe we can ask Fernando right after this, that he wasn't even going to go on IR and that he was going to try and come back in like a week and a half or 2 weeks, and the team forced him to go on IR. So I think he probably is more ready than people think. I want him to play in this game because I am desperate for the Chargers offense to help Herbert out in any way. He is not going to make it to the end at this rate. He's taking too many hits, Joe. And we cannot have another game where he gets hit 10, 15 times. We just can't do it anymore.
Well, he's doing better than I thought. Remember at the beginning of the season, you asked me if Herbert would make it through the whole season without starting. So far, he's doing
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. So it's tough. My prediction is the Chargers via blowout. But what's your prediction?
Oh yeah, yeah. I no, hell no. Raiders taking this win. The Raiders can't win in SoFi. We haven't been able to prove it. Like, I think we have one win in SoFi, and it was when there was no fans, right?
Yeah, and Raiders fans claim they own SoFi, and the only time they won in SoFi is when the fans didn't show up to invade SoFi. So maybe stay the fuck out. Maybe how about that?
Like, I've heard a lot of Raider fans this week going, we just want to win in SoFi. Like, we want one win in SoFi. And it would be nice, and we'll be celebrating it like we're going to the Super Bowl if we win this game. But it's just
Oh my
I don't
god.
see it happening. Like,
Also,
our
if the
offensive
Chargers,
line is that bad, Mike, that I pick up the opposing defenses against my team in fantasy football. Like, if
yeah,
I can get the Chargers defense this week, I'm picking up the Chargers defense.
that's called
Last week,
emotional
I started the
hedging.
Cleveland Browns defense on like 6 of my fantasy teams.
That's emotional hedging. Like when people bet against their own teams, like if they lose, I still want money. If they win, they won. I'm happy either way. So
This is the first year, Mike. How long have you known me that this is the first year in Pickems, I'm actually not picking the Raiders. And how many times did I take losses every year of just taking the Raiders every time in
True.
Pickems? Like,
It's true. And this will probably be the one game they freaking win now just because you're not taking them. That's just my freaking luck.
no, I took the Browns last week.
So it didn't matter.
I
Didn't
even
curse
put a
them.
bet in Vegas on the Browns to win, like plus 3.5 or whatever it was, -3 or whatever. Like,
Oh my god. Well, let's do some quick over-unders real quick. Sponsoring the Mike's Pickems Challenge this year is Dabble. So let's get a quick Dabble in, Joe. If you guys want to join Dabble, they're giving $25 away for free. So you can just go in there, use promo code NFLMIKE, use the link in the description, and get $25 for free right now. Put it all down on
and
your Thanksgiving games if you want. Make your Thanksgiving games more interesting, or put them down on the Sunday games, whatever you want. It's completely free.
and if you use multiple devices and sign up with multiple emails, you get multiple 25.
Yeah.
Just don't use the same device.
Yeah, exactly. See what Joe's saying? He's giving hacks. Make sure you use promo code NFLMike on all those devices, so that way that they know that I sent you. It'll help out the page a lot. All right, Joe. I'm just
saying, everybody has multiple emails. Everybody has multiple devices. Take your wife's phone, download Dabble, use her email, and you get $25 to gamble. Use yours on your phone, then grab your kid's tablet, use Dabble, NFL Mike, and you got it. There's $75 right there. I just saved you, and then you actually make some correct picks and you use Mike's picks. You might actually have more money to gamble or whatever, buy some Christmas gifts.
Well, that's what's crazy is that if you win with it, you say you put the whole 25 on your first ticket and your second and your third and your fourth on your different devices, and you win on one of them, that money's real. You can withdraw that and, like you said, go on a Christmas shopping spree, Black Friday shopping spree, whatever you want to do. I'm going to actually put in this ticket, by the way, Joe. So we're going to actually put this in. But I think Justin Herbert, we're going to have to throw the ball, especially if Hampton's not out there. I know he had 81 yards passing last time he came out. He had 220, 250, 227, 420, 300 the games before that. The Raiders' secondary is not great. We got to get the ball out quick with Crosby coming. He's going over 243 passing yards. Right, Herbie?
243, probably, yeah.
What do you think on the
secondary is good. Well, not Kaibu Kelly, but the Raiders secondary is good. Eric Stokes has been pretty damn good this year, top 25 cornerback. It's just that they have to stay on the receivers for 5 seconds and they have no pass rush.
Yeah,
like the only guy you got going is Matt.
Yeah, you got a triple team Crosby, and then Crosby still fights through triple teams and beats triple teams.
And people are telling me that Max sucks this year because they're looking at sack totals, and I'm like,
that's crazy.
Oh my god.
I am an absolute Max Crosby hater. He is better than TJ Watt right now.
Well, I don't think you can't put your impact on the running game. Like, remember the first game in week 2, how impactful Max was on stopping the run against the Chargers. That game could have been a lot worse than it was. But Max against the Chargers run game was unbelievable. You can't put that on stat paper. You can't. Yeah. There's no way to go, okay, he stopped, 20 runs. Like, it's not out there. But people just look at the stats and go, okay.
He's as good or better than Micah Parsons. And I think if he got put up for trade ever, the league would pay up a price bigger than Micah Parsons.
Oh, anyway. Max is way better than Micah Parsons.
Yeah. So Geno Smith, 207 yards. That's a tough one. Because think about it. If you're playing down, he's going to have to throw it. But can he even throw for, like...
I don't know the last time Geno Smith has got the over on his passing yards.
Yeah, well, I don't know what it was last week. He had 285, but it was all in garbage time. I'm going to go less. Then you got Bowers in a matchup with Derwin James, 55 receiving yards. He's only had less than 55, I think, twice this year. Or twice since the knee injury is what this is saying.
Yeah, he wasn't 100% the last time they played the Chargers. The first time they played, it was actually 1 week after the injury that he should have never been on the field for it.
Playing, yeah.
But he's the only weapon they have, right? So
I'll go over then. I'll go over.
They're going to feed him the ball.
55 yards? Yeah, 55 yards seems like nothing for him. Which receiver should we go with the Chargers here? Keenan Allen always turns up against the Raiders, and his is only 40 yards.
What's Ladd's?
Ladd's is 52, though. That's not very much.
Yeah. If I had to pick a receiver to go off, it'd be Ladd.
Ladd's going to cook. All right, so
he didn't play the first matchup either.
Oh, yeah, you're right, actually. You're right. Justin Herbert, 18 rushing yards. We're not going to touch that because of the running back situation. Who's scoring a touchdown for the Raiders? They're going to score at least one touchdown, right?
I mean, if you were gonna put money on a Raider to score a touchdown, you would put Genty.
That's what I was gonna say too. And it's a
Yeah.
1.2x for Genty right now. So they're not feeling good about Genty. I am feeling good about Genty. And then who's scoring a touchdown for the Chargers? We already got something on Ladd. How are the Raiders doing in coverage on tight ends? Because Oronde Gadsden has been Herbert's like lover in the red zone this year.
Yeah, you can score. Our linebackers can't cover.
All right, cool, perfect. So we're gonna put Gadsden in for a touchdown.
Well, you got to remember the Raiders run a cover 3, so it's all zone.
1.5 for that one.
And we don't have linebackers that could drop back. We have linebackers that can stop the run. And we don't have linebackers that can really good in the passing game.
And then I'm just gonna go ahead and add Brock Bowers and Ladd's receptions to this because they have to get these receptions to get to the yards anyways that we're going for here.
Lewis is saying lock it.
So that puts us. Oh, I made a mistake. Okay, this puts us, this selection puts us at a 63 multiplier, 63 times multiplier. So if you put in the promo code NFLMIKE, you get your $25 bonus. You put all $25 down on Justin Herbert, more than 243 passing yards, Geno Smith, less than 200 passing yards, Brock Bowers, more than 55 receiving yards, because Aiden O'Connell's going to come in and throw those to him. Ladd McConkey, 52 receiving yards or more. Ashton Genty touchdown, Oronde Gadsden touchdown. You will turn that $25 free promo, which is $0 into $25 into $1,575. Put it on the board and put it in. Joe, give me one. Put it on the board. Come on, just one.
For which one? Oh, for me to say it?
Yeah.
Put it on the board. Yes.
There's your dabble. Promo code NFL Mike, y'all, or the link in the description to the YouTube video or on all of my social media platforms. Go ahead and make your guys' picks. I think Hampton's going to come back, but we're going to ask the compas. Don't worry. They got more info on this kind of stuff than I do. All right, so that's our predictions. We both got the Chargers winning and our dabble picks. Go ahead and copy us, or you can go against us, whichever one you want to do. Let's rapid fire these out, Joe. Picks for the rest of the league. Thanksgiving first. Let's start with the Packers and Lions. This one is going to be interesting because Gibbs just had a monstrous game, but at the same time, the Packers defense and especially their D-line is starting to pick up. On a short week in Detroit, the Packers have a ton of injuries. I know the Lions are banged up too, but I think the Packers' injuries to some of their star players are a little bit more concerning to me, especially Josh Jacobs, Edgerrin Cooper, Lucas Van Ness, these guys that they need for this game. So I'm going with the Lions in a close one. 23-21 is my score prediction, but you got Lions or Packers?
Well, and I almost wrote the Lions off last week. If they didn't pull that win off, I'd have been like, yeah, Lions are done. It's Thanksgiving. Like, how do you not root for the Lions this week? Like, on Thanksgiving Day, I grew up watching the shitty ass Lions, and I always root for them on Thanksgiving. So I gotta go with the Lions today. I gotta go with the Lions. Hey, Jahmyr Gibbs in one league had 73 points in fantasy with all the bonuses.
Insane. Some dumbass traded him this offseason in the Dynasty. I don't know who it was. It was me. What do you think about the Cowboys-Chiefs game?
I hope that is this like the only time that I'm rooting for the Cowboys? Like, I picked the Cowboys last week against the Eagles. I think you did too, right? Like, the Cowboys are getting that momentum. George Pickens has been unstoppable. George, like I saw a meme the other day that said, George Pickens for a 3rd round pick. It's kind of fucked up now, right? It's kind of like it's funny that they got him for that. Like, I hope the Chiefs get beat down, man. But it all comes down to it. But I think the Cowboys defense has been a lot better this year.
It's getting better.
Since the trade deadline, the Cowboys defense has stepped up. It started to become like I said, that trade was going to benefit the Dallas Cowboys, and Jerry Jones is making moves to do it. So I'm taking the Dallas Cowboys.
Specific game, the Chiefs, they're struggling to run the ball. They pick up Dameon Pierce trying to get the run game going. This ain't the week to do it. And the Cowboys are really strong inside. They're playing well. Their linebackers have been playing a lot better too since they've made those pickups. I think that people underestimate how much a D tackle does for a defense. And moving around those guys on the inside of the offensive line gives the linebackers room to go and make those tackles and make those reads. And it's shown a lot for the Cowboys defense. I think also, like with the Colts, and the difference is the Cowboys offense is going to put up more points than that. More points than Danny Dimes is going to put up. So the Chiefs to win this got to score 35, I think.
And if CeeDee Lamb can just hold on to the damn ball.
Yeah, which I think he will come out kind of like pissed off that George Pickens is getting all of the hype and he's not getting any shine and go off in this game against a Chiefs secondary that's probably preparing for George Pickens. I mean, are we watching what's happening? Even when he's triple covered, he's just going up and catching it over all of them. So George Pickens is emerging as maybe one of the best jump ball getters we've seen of this generation. I think the Cowboys got this too, Joe. 33-20. We done, boys. Let's go. Put the Chiefs in the dirt. They can't keep getting away with this. They're 1-5 now in one-score games. Let's not act like they're back off of one comeback.
They can't keep getting away with this.
They can't keep getting away with it. Bengals, Ravens. This is another interesting one. Joe Burrow's back. So is Lamar Jackson. He's been back for a few weeks now. But really the key to me in this game is the Ravens defense is back. And similar, at the trade deadline, they made some moves. And they were able to turn that thing around, made some adjustments on the defensive side of the ball. I don't think this is a great return game for Joe Burrow. I do think he puts up some numbers. I think the game is close for 3 quarters. And then that banged up O-line, that terrible Bengals defense, those eyesores come back to bite the Bengals again. And the Ravens win it 35-24 in the end.
Yeah, no T. Higgins. No,
I didn't know about that either. That even makes it worse. You got the Ravens too?
No, I don't know. I kind of I want to go with the Joe Burrow, but the Ravens have been hot.
This is one of those games in Baltimore. Like Burrow just lives for this kind of stuff, man. He could win this game for sure.
And we've seen it. We've seen Thursday nights have been. No, I think I'm going to go with the Bengals. Why not? Screw it. I'm going to go with the Bengals. But all three of these Thanksgiving games look like they could be high scoring games, right? Yeah. And I hope they live up to their billing, and I hope they are. But Lamar Jackson is 5-1 against Joe Burrow, is what Phil just said. Phil K.
Oh, okay.
Is that the old Phil K?
Yes, it is. The same guy. Phil K, we miss you.
Yeah. Yeah.
We never met you, but we miss you.
I'm taking the Bengals. I don't know why I'm taking them. I think would this affect the Ravens like playoff wise? Probably. Yeah, screw it.
It affects both. This is a big game for both teams. They both need this win really badly. They both have
always a game that the Ravens poop their pants on national TV.
I know. This feels like that. That's what I was about to say. Like, it isn't a bad pick to pick the Bengals at all. I think the game will be close. I think it could be high scoring. I think that Burrow, while Lamar Jackson is 5-1 against Burrow, it seems like every time they play, it's a fun, exciting game with a bunch of roller coasters up and down. Thanksgiving is going to be high scoring, Joe. That's why they should go to Dabble, use promo code NFLMIKE for that $25, and use it on Thanksgiving because all the overs are hitting. I actually posted a Thanksgiving ticket only on my Instagram if you guys want to go check it out at the NFLMIKE. Get my picks for Thanksgiving Day games only and not the Raiders game. Next game, Black Friday, last holiday game of the weekend. The Philadelphia Eagles are hosting the Chicago Bears, and this is another one. Fun game because the Eagles' offense is struggling. The Bears' offense and defense is heating up. I do want the Bears to win this thing, but I just have a feeling that the Eagles figure out a way to win it. If this was in Chicago, I would pick Chicago.
Me and Bear fans have been getting into it all year because I was like, imagine how good the Bears would be if they had a good quarterback, right? Like if they had a quarterback that was actually good. But they're 8-3. Cool. They're winning the games that are in front of them. Good for them. This is a big test, right? If you want to show that you're actually a contender in the NFC, this is one that even if the Eagles are struggling, Eagles are coming in pissed off because they just lost to the Cowboys in that fashion.
Just don't get blown out. Don't get blown out. Just the Bears just don't want to get blown out here.
Yeah, I think the Eagles win this game. I think the Bears keep it close, but yeah.
I think this could be one of those like
even at 8-3, I can't trust Caleb Williams right now. He hasn't showed me that consistency that I want to see from him. And even though their running backs have been doing good for the Bears, they have a lot going for them. So, but I'll take the Eagles in this matchup, and I'll rather take the loss than actually pick the Bears.
It's getting better for him in a sense that he's not playing consistently better throughout games, but he's playing better in big moments, I guess. And that's huge for him because he was a fumbly, blooper reel the rookie season.
Andy.
So it was pretty bad. All right, let's keep this rolling to Sunday. First game of Sunday I have listed here is the Jaguars on the road in Tennessee. I think the Titans keep this one close. I got the Jaguars winning at 28-21, but I'm pretty confident in the Jags.
Yeah, I'll take the Jags in this game. I'd love to see the Titans get another win, so my first round first overall pick can get closer, but
Yeah, I'm with Agent Andy here. I think that the Birds do bounce back. I think that game sneakily could end up turning into a defensive battle too, just as likely. It could be like a 17-14 Eagles win type of game, or a blocked field goal type of game at the end there for the Eagles. Arizona in Tampa. That's a tough trip for the Cardinals to go all the way across the country, reeling after a couple of losses. They thought that Jacoby Brissett was the right move. It's turning out that they just destroyed Kyler Murray's trade value and are losing still. I want the Bucks. I got the Bucks to win this one. I feel bad for the Bucks. They've had a rough schedule like the last month, and they finally get a game that I think that at home you can kind of win comfortably, have fun in, run the score up a little bit, build some stats. 35 to
Teddy
20.
Bridgewater has taken 70% of the snaps in practice so far.
Oh no, so Baker isn't going to be back.
So I don't know. Does that change your mind?
It does a little bit. It does a little bit.
And you just saw Tampa get blown out on national TV. Do they want to fight back? That defense has been a little bit questionable, but I think Tampa has enough to win this game, even if Teddy B's in there.
Holy shit, I didn't even realize that. I'm dumb. I might get that one wrong. I'm actually on fire, Joe. I didn't tell you, but
because you put the curse on Baker Mayfield, Mike. You did.
Why is it me?
Because you kept saying Baker Mayfield MVP candidate since the beginning of the offseason, and you always knew that when Mike picks something, it's going to go wrong.
The crazy thing is it usually like starts off good, so I can like just get to the point where I brag about my prediction, and then the day I brag about it, everything goes off the rails from that point forward, basically. That's what's happened to the Bucks too this year. You're right. Anyways. Saints on the road in Miami. I think the Dolphins just keep building on the momentum that they have right now. They're trying to get back into the wild card race. I don't think they're going to get back into it. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs or anything, but the Saints are just so bad. They couldn't even do anything to Kirk go chains.
Hey, Saints would have been a nice team for Jador Sanders, huh?
I know. Saints, dude, there's so many teams that could use him. Like, even just like this week, if you put Shador Sanders in Brock Purdy's spot, I'm just saying. I don't want to start any controversies, but I'm just saying. Atlanta Falcons.
I'm taking Miami too.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I skipped. Just assumed you were taking the Dolphins.
Yeah.
Atlanta Falcons also are kind of assumed to be beating the Jets. The thing that sucks for the Falcons is that they looked better in one game of Kirk Cousins. I think in this game, you kind of see a return of Kirk Cousins again, and it's going to start to be like Kirk Cousins is the starter. And I feel bad for Michael Penix.
Yeah, you got to see what he can do, but Atlanta's defense has been hit and miss on me enough that I'm like, what the hell? But it's the Jets. Like, I'm not gonna pick you. I'm not gonna pick against. I'm not gonna pick against anybody with the Jets when they're playing against the Jets. So I'll take the Falcons in this game too.
Just give the ball to Bijan.
Yeah, just
Jets defense. The Jets defense is playing better though, but give the ball to Bijan.
Yeah, you have two running backs. Just keep giving it to them.
Exactly. Buffalo and Pittsburgh. Same thing as last week with the Bears. He didn't end up even getting in the game. I don't think Rodgers can make it through a game with a broken wrist. He hardly makes it through the game 100% healthy, going into the game with everything fine. Like, this guy knows that this is his last chance to play football, I think. And that's why he's going out there. And he is going to retire at the end of the season no matter what happens to the Steelers. But I just don't think in this game he can make it through with a broken wrist. That's going to hurt every time you're touched.
Yeah, but you just saw Davis Mills tear this defense apart. Like, we've seen, like, this Bills defense is...
It's not good. The Steelers defense is not the Texans defense either. So...
Yeah, and plus the Steelers don't really have...
a rushing attack. That's that strong.
So I'm going to go with Buffalo as well, because especially coming off a Thursday night game with the extra rest.
Minnesota on the road in Seattle. So here's the funny thing about this game is it's a Sam Darnold revenge game. But Sam Darnold just kind of like showed why in this last game with his 4 interceptions. The Vikings and the Rams let him go. And now the Vikings have J.J. McCarthy in there at quarterback, and he just looks absolutely awful. Like, he doesn't even belong on the field. And it's like the Seahawks have a great defense, and they have amazing, like, awesome weapons, and their quarterback's going to hold them back come playoffs, and it's Sam Darnold. And the Vikings wish they still had Sam Darnold, and they have all these crazy weapons, solid defense. They're all still sucking. I think the Hawks win this. I like the matchups a lot better on their side, especially, hopefully, this secondary can do well against the Vikings receivers. But even if they don't, Can JJ McCarthy get Justin Jefferson the ball when he's wide open at this point?
Yeah, and JJ McCarthy has been the worst ranked quarterback in terms of stats and everything since Jamarcus Russell. It's JJ McCarthy, then Jamarcus Russell, and all the quarterbacks in the last couple of years, like 20 plus years. And Jamarcus Russell didn't have Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison and TJ Hawkinson
And it
and
hurts.
Aaron Jones. Like, this is like, we knew JJ McCarthy would need work coming out of college, but holy crap, this has looked very bad for him, and they got to get going. But my question is, do the Vikings know a little bit more about Sam Darnold than other teams, because he was there, right? They kind of know how they could pick him apart, and but I mean, that's the thing about Sam Darnold. One, he starts off hot, and then it gets, once the end of the season comes. But I'm still going to take Seattle to win this game because I like their defense.
Yeah, I think they run the ball a lot more too to try and keep that blitz off of them, and it ends up working for them. I got the Chargers winning 63-21. You got a score prediction for that one?
For the Chargers, Raiders?
Yeah.
No.
Denver and Washington is the Sunday night game. This week is a week of like kind of like all the good games got piled on Thanksgiving and Black Friday, and then until next week we're gonna have almost all blowouts. I don't think that the Commanders can keep up with the Broncos defense. Marcus Mariota out there. I know Jaden Daniels is trying to get back, but he's 1 week away still. So I got the Broncos winning it. It's probably going to be closer than we expect it to be, but the defense will lock them down in the second half.
Yeah, I know they took him off the IR, right? Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, so I think he's 1 week out.
But yeah, I'm still going with the Broncos. They'll get the 10th win of the season.
I hope Jaden Daniels comes back, because it pisses me off that he came back just to beat the Chargers and then went back on the IR. Like, that was kind of annoying, Jaden.
Andy said, give him the Washington Commanders with the upset for no reason at all. Just hating on the Broncos.
Andy, I'm rooting for this, though. I'm rooting for this with all my heart. We need the Broncos to take an L. We need the Chargers to get a dub and put us back in the race. So, I mean, if that happens, it literally will be set up for a Week 18 AFC Championship game. Then we got Eli versus Tom, or should I say Jackson versus May on Monday Night Football this week. The Giants have been putting up some fights in these games, Joe, and I don't think this will be any different. I think the Patriots are on upset alert, but it being in New England, I don't know.
Losing Will Campbell has been it's a big loss.
Will Campbell is a huge loss for them. That's going to change things a bunch. This is a great defense to test how good Drake May actually is or is playing right now. It is probably going to be extremely close. I'm going with the Patriots 24-20, but this was one that I started and I said, Joe's going to probably pick the Giants.
When you got Winston out there catching passes and
he could go out and catch a pass.
You never know what you got with Jameis Winston. Like, that's the thing. Like, it could be an ugly game, it could be a beautiful game, but something about whatever Jameis Winston brings to you. And I don't know, when we first started doing podcasts, it was right after Jameis Winston did that 30-30 season with 30 touchdowns, 30 interceptions. And I was like, I still believe in Jameis, and like, I would make him a starting quarterback on my team. And I remember Tony used to make fun of me, and he probably still does, but I would take Jameson as a quarterback somewhere. Like, what he does, like the sound clips alone from him are amazing, and he keeps your team in the game. Like, they don't have a lot of talent on that New York offense right now. A lot of injuries, and he's continuing to do it. Now, do I want to pick him against the Patriots? Hell yeah, I want to pick him against the Patriots. Monday Night Football with Jameis Winston, y'all take it.
I'm not shocked. I think it's gonna be Jackson Dart though, Joe. I think it's already like
he's either way. I'm still taking him. Like,
Jameis Winston will get a play in there. There's no way last week can happen, and there's nothing in the playbook for Jameis Winston this week, even as a backup. The one thing I wouldn't want him as my backup is I think he's doing this on purpose. He's obviously going to teams where he has maybe a slight opportunity to get in the game. Every team he's went to as a backup, he ends up the starter somehow, by highway or by crook. Even if he's the third string, the fourth string, the fifth string, he is going to end up in the game. It's like that Mike White run from a couple years ago, where Mike White, just no matter where, he ended up in the game.
Yeah.
Jameis has been doing this for like 10 straight years as a backup, where he is the starter. You just don't know it yet.
Yeah. Well, I pushed for Jameis in Las Vegas, and nobody wanted it, but
that would be a fun year if you just had 1 year where the Raiders, they draft tackle next year, and you just sign Jameis to a 1-year deal, and he just goes off, has like a Ryan Fitzpatrick kind of season for you guys. You win 7 games, and it's a huge step forward.
Yeah. I pushed for Jameis, and I pushed for Jacoby Myers or Jacoby Brissett the last 2 years, but
Jameis would be better or worse. I would have to root against him, but yeah.
Yeah.
Rams, Panthers. I had this as my game of the week just because I think that the two defenses are going to have a fun in this game, trying to cover up McMillan on one side and Chuba and Rico Dowdle is having issues. Hopefully, Rico Dowdle gets through these issues throughout the week. I think Bryce Young could get mauled. I do think it is going to be a good game though. So I have the Rams winning it 27-20. This is my game of the week, Joe, because there ain't really shit other than Thanksgiving, like I said.
Yeah, I'm taking the Rams. I'll take the Rams easily. The Panthers kind of let me down on against 49ers.
And then I have two upsets this week.
And no Trayvon Merrick this week because he got suspended for socking him in the balls.
Oh my God. Oh, that's some Raider activity right there. Houston Texans on the road in Indianapolis. The Texans have been a team that this defense is absolutely amazing. I don't think CJ Stroud's going to get back in time for this game, but I think even with Davis Mills in there, the defense can eke this out. They have the guys to slow Jonathan Taylor down, and that's when the Colts have struggled against all the teams that can slow Jonathan Taylor down even a little bit. But they have the defense to maybe even shut down the rushing attack. So the Colts are 5-point favorites, I think, or 4.5-point favorites. I got the Texans winning the game 20-17, even with Davis Mills. CJ will make it even better.
Ever since the Colts played the Steelers showed the game plan how to shut them down.
Yeah.
And that has been, like, you've seen a different team, a different Colts team since then. Still putting up good numbers, but they haven't been as dominant. And so I don't know. And the Houston's on a whole nother level right now, especially when you just have like CJ Stroud was taking too many shots and doing too much. There could have been a couple more games that they could have won if CJ Stroud would have just taken what the defense gave him. And that's what Davis Mills is doing right now. So I'm taking Houston in this one.
Let's go. Both on the upsets of the week this week. And my last upset of the week, it's perfect timing for another upset, Joe. And I have decided, and it might end right now, in this very moment, that I will pick the Browns until they lose.
Well, I saw the thing that somebody said it's perfect for the Browns to act like they don't want Shador and then put him out there now when they play five of the next 6 games are against some of the worst defenses in the league, including last week against the Raiders. Like, they have a very good chance of making a run with Shador Sanders. And I mean, he's better than Dylan Gabriel by a long shot, right?
Yeah.
He should have been out there to begin with.
Really, it's Judkins. It's Judkins, but we're just going to all say it was Shador.
Junkins what?
Oh, no. He's probably the one that's going to go off and feast on everybody, and then we're just going to give Shador the credit.
No. But that's what Shador brings to you is with Dylan Gabriel, you shrunk the field. Dylan Gabriel wasn't throwing the ball over 30 yards.
Yeah.
With Shador Sanders, hand the ball off. That's what you want. And then occasionally move out of the pocket and throw it deep.
Exactly.
He only needs to make 1 or 2 plays a game. He just needs to scare the defense enough where that play action, when you do the play action, it works. And that's what Shador is able to do. I'm not saying Shador is a franchise building quarterback, but he's better than a 5th round quarterback. I'll tell you that.
And on the flip side, you thought Brock Purdy struggled last week against the Panthers defense. Buckle up, Buttercup.
Yeah. This Browns defense, for being a team that only has 3 wins, that defense is unbelievable. And last time I think the Niners played the Browns was in Cleveland, and it was 13-10, and the Browns won that one. And that was when the Niners were undefeated, and a lot of stuff went wrong. But Brock Purdy, I mean, Mr. Irrelevant. I had 49er fans calling for Mac Jones last week.
Mac Jones was better than Brock Purdy was in that specific game. Someone's been calling this since day one. I don't know who. Brock Purdy doubter. I might as well put that on a hat. I don't know. I just always felt like the Niners, they've been a QB away for so long. It's almost tormenting me at this point. Are you going double upsets with me? Are you picking the Browns?
No, I'm picking the Niners. Okay. Yeah.
I
want to pick the Browns. I would like to see it, but I want to see more from Shador because, I mean, at the end of the day, you played the Raiders. At the end of the day, you beat the Raiders.
Yeah.
And it was more Samson doing it. You really had one big play. Maybe you should have had a better game if Jerry Jeudy didn't fumble that ball.
True.
He could have probably had a better game, and we would have seen. But I want to see more from Shador against a tougher defense in San Francisco, a better defensive coordinator in Robert Saleh, and see what we could do. But hey, we saw what he did with 1 week of practice. 1 week of practice, Mike. Like, let's see.
Yeah, give him a whole offseason. Things are getting dangerous in Cleveland. No, the thing is that he's going to be the type, like, the Cleveland Browns are going to still get a quarterback next offseason. He's going to be the backup. I guarantee it. I guarantee it right now. But all right, that's our picks for this week. We got to head out of here. I appreciate everyone tuning into this one. Again, please, you guys can, you guys want to, get that $25 free on Dabble. The link's in the description, or use promo code NFLMIKE on the Dabble Fantasy app. You get $25 free, and you can turn that into some real money for you Christmas this year. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. The way you can wish me a happy holidays is by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, turn on notifications. You can be here when we go live and our reactions to what happens versus the Raiders and Chargers. Me and Joe are going to be together this weekend for the Raiders-Chargers game. So go follow at the Joe Morley on Instagram. Go follow my page on Instagram because we'll be making short videos. We'll be making something. I don't know.
I'm going to wear these to the game, Mike, so I don't have to hear your bullshit.
I would definitely be bringing my bullshit and all of it. But that's all for today's show. Thank you guys for tuning in. Who's going to win every single game of Thanksgiving week? I guess sooner rather than later.